Hey gang, today I'm going to talk about something that guitarists and actually musicians of all sorts rarely do, and that is take the time to appreciate some of their prouder moments, some of the accomplishments that they've had. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that are some of my happy moments, and hopefully that'll spur you on to do it yourself. Coming right up. You know, we guitarists are hard on ourselves and hard on our fellow musicians. It may be part of what drives us to get better, but it does have its ugly side too. The ugliest is when we just can't help but criticize other guitar players. You know what I mean? I could play better than that, or if they're just tearing it up, they really ought to be using a different guitar for this style of music, or that tube amp is not right, or those effects are wrong, or they're not much of a show person. It's ugly. We really need to stop doing it.
But it's just as bad when we beat ourselves up too, saying things like, my fingers are so small, why can't I get this, and I'll never be any good at guitar.
So today I'm going to encourage you to think about some of the things that you're happy or proud about over your guitar career. It doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering, and I'm going to start by sharing some of my experiences. Number one, the first time I was on stage with a real crowd, hundreds of people. I still remember it was 1980, Battle of the Bands. We played the My Generation medley from Live at Leeds, and we played Hibernation by Ted Nugent. Had to learn that whole solo. I was even the singer for the band. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. As a 15-year-old kid getting up on stage and doing that, yeah, pretty amazing. And no, we didn't win.
Number two, I'm proud of that whole year that I saved up to buy my first real guitar.
And here it is, my Gibson 335 that I bought from Castiglione's accordion shop on Gratiot and Harper in Detroit. And believe it or not, they are still around, although they've relocated amazingly to just 1/2 of a mile from where my boyhood home was on 11 Mile and Shaner in Detroit, or in Warren, near Detroit. Number three, I was totally psyched that very first time that I more or less figured out the opening riff from Yes's Starship Trooper. It's got that counter movement, and the high E string actually plays lower notes than the B string. All very clever. Such a cool lick. Number four, the very first time I was able to really understand and play the changes, and it was to Peter Frampton's Do You Feel Like We Do? There's a major minor thing. It's not complicated, but I still remember hearing it and finally getting it and being able to play it. Very thrilling.
Number five, I'm proud of the very first YouTube guitar video I ever posted, and in fact it's still up on YouTube. You can check it out in the description below. Check out the hairdo or lack thereof.
Number six, I'm pretty happy that just last week I was able to get together with another musician I've never played with before, a friend of my wife's. We played all kinds of soul and R&B, Prince, Stevie Wonder, OJ's, Al Green, all great stuff. So you see, it doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering. It can be learning a new riff or lick or technique, sure, but it can also be mastering a piece of equipment, or maybe even just taking a slightly courageous next step. So what are you happy about or proud of in your guitar journey? I tell you, taking the time to do that is probably just as important as learning that new scale, learning that new chord voicing, or even learning some crossroads licks. Let me know in the comments below, okay? Hey, if you like this video, I predict you are going to love this one as well. So why don't you check it out, and we'll see you in the next video. We'll see you on down the road.